I had a client over this past weekend send me a message through our client portal, pretty much in a little bit of a panic because she had missed her Q4 estimated tax payment. And she was like, Jennifer, what am I going to pay in penalties? What do I do? I missed my, deadline. So if that is you and you have missed the Q4 tax deadline, take a deep breath. Today, I'm going to show you why paying late is better than never. So, if this is your first time here, welcome to my live. I am Jennifer Drew. I'm the founder and CEO of Hair CEO. We are a business advisory, bookkeeping, and tax firm for self employed hair professionals and hair business owners. And we do that through advisory, bookkeeping, and filing taxes. And so, if you are live and you've already made your Q4 tax payment, put a Q4 in the chat. If you are joining us for the replay, put hashtag replay just to let me know you were here and leave any questions that you may have related to this topic. So today, like I mentioned, I want to go over Q4, my client missing that tax payment. And I'll tell you, I get a lot of inspiration for what to talk about based on, what's going on with my own clients. And a lot of times, whatever my clients are going through, that might be something you're going through. So it just works out. But before we jump into why late is better than never, I do want to do sort of a refresher on estimated tax payments, and specifically, we'll dive a little bit more into Q4. But on this whiteboard here, I have the 4 different quarters. I call them Q1 through Q4. If you've never heard me mention that, that's what I'm talking about. Quarters 1, 2, 3, and 4. Now, these quarters are when tax payments are due in the event that you are going to owe the IRS more than $1,000. Now, if you're not going to owe the IRS more than $1,000, then you don't have to worry about these quarters. But for a lot of the, hair professionals and hair business owners that we work with, they're definitely going to be owing more than $1,000 because they're making profit. That's one thing about the hair CEO. We want you to make a profit. And if you make a profit, you're going to pay some taxes. So there are deadlines to these payment debt, these quarterlies. So Q1 is due April 15th, Q2, June 15th, Q3, September 15th, and then Q4 is January 15th of the following year. So my client had a problem here. She made all of these quarterly payments on time, no problem. We send our clients emails with the amount to pay, how to pay. We send them videos. We send them these 3 weeks in advance so that they have enough time to, or 2 weeks in advance to make sure they have enough time to make that payment. It's just that life happens, right? This particular hairstylist just got busy and life was lifing, and she forgot. It's not that she didn't know, it's just slipped her mind. And here it is, we're the January 26th, and she was like, Jennifer, I totally forgot to pay. Like, how much trouble am I in? And so the first thing I told her was that the IRS does not charge like this flat fee of penalty for when you miss these deadlines. The IRS, the way they work is the estimated tax payment is a payment on, like a prepayment on what you're going to owe. And so when you don't make those payments on time, then they will charge you interest. And as of Q1 2025, that interest rate is like 7%, but it's on a daily rate. So like the IRS, and there's a maximum, but like that's how much they would charge you in interest. So you want to make sure that you're paying that late, because you don't want to just say, oh, I'll wait until I file taxes. Like, she could have said that, right? She could have been like, I missed a tax payment in January. Oh, we're almost in February. It can wait. I'll wait until I file my taxes. No, I told her, go ahead, make the tax payment now, because in the event that you owe more, like, you don't want that interest to increase. So She made the tax payment, and she doesn't have to worry about a non-payment penalty, but there is interest. So I hope that makes sense. That's what I had to break down to her. It's not a penalty, because there's penalties that the IRS charges, and then there's interest. And so by paying late, she's not going to incur a penalty if she pays it, but she may have some interest because of the timing when she didn't pay it on the 15th. She paid it, the 6th, the 26th, or the 25th. Now this is where I feel like trips people up, because this Q4 is after the holidays. It's a lot going on. You're recovering from shopping, and maybe your funds are a little low. And so this Q4, I feel like, trips up a lot of people. And the worst mistake you can make is to wait until you file your taxes, because if you look, this date is April 15th. April 15th is when your taxes are actually due, right? So let's say this is year 2025, right? So this is a real life scenario. So she needs to make the estimated Q4 payment for 2025. Now, if she waits until this day to pay for 2025, then what is this? This is already the Q1 for 2026. So now she's got to pay Q4 for 25 and Q1 for 2026. You're going to mess yourself up a lot if you wait. So it's always better, if you miss that Q4 payment, make it late, but do not wait. Oh, I like that. That rhymes. If you're late, do not wait. Love it. All right. I'm a little corny. But yes, that is what you want to do. You want to make sure that if you miss the deadline, pay it late. But seriously, waiting until April 15th is just going to be a headache. And then you're really going to feel like you're always playing catch up, and you don't want to do that. I want to make sure I don't have any questions in the comments, because that's essentially what I wanted to go over today. I mean, this is a short one because, Q4, yes, it was due 2 weeks ago, but go ahead and make that payment if you haven't already. Another one of my clients, he actually made the estimated tax payment, and the IRS is like sitting on it. Like, it literally, we logged in, we logged in, and it just says pending. Well, we're going to use that as proof, because we don't want any interest or penalties on his account, because we have proof that he actually paid it before the deadline, but it just is showing pending, hasn't left his bank account or anything. And we're trying to get that resolved right now. But it just goes to show you, the IRS, they make mistakes too. That's why it's better to be working with an accounting firm that can support you when things like this happen. And, just make sure that you know the right moves and the right steps to take. So if you are a hair professional, if you have a hair business, or if you're independent and you're looking for a firm to work with, whether that's through bookkeeping, or maybe you just want your taxes filed, maybe you do your bookkeeping on your own, but you do want the support for filing their taxes, then I invite you to click the link in my description. We're working with a limited number of clients this year, this 2026 filing season. So if you want to be one of those limited people, go ahead and sign up so that we can get you reserved for filing tax. It could be for 2025 taxes, or it can be for any prior years. We handle prior years as well. And again, my name is Jennifer Drew, and I help simplify profits and taxes for self-employed hair professionals and hair business owners. And I will see you tomorrow when we are in day 27 of 90 with 2026 Tax Talk. See you then.